Yep, let's do this. What is going on? Happy Tuesday, everybody. Game number 5 is right there. Game number 5 is right there. And can the Lakers close this series out against the Houston Rockets? They already got an opponent waiting for them. As far as the Oklahoma City Thunder, they closed out the series last night against the Phoenix Suns, a 4-0 sweep for the Oklahoma City Thunder. We kind of already had an understanding that that was going to happen. But besides that, game number 5, very, very important for the Los Angeles Lakers. Can they really close this series out? Game number 4 was not a good game overall for the Lakers. So for today's episode, I feel like we can kind of dive into the things that worked for the Lakers compared to the things that did not work for the Lakers. The turnovers. How can the Lakers cut that in half? The offense. How can they get back to getting more production out of Luke Kennard, Marcus Smart? How can they get LeBron James into a spot defensively? How can they control the paint? Force Alpert Sengun to take contested jump shots. All those good things. And of course, we have even more news surrounded by Austin Reaves. Is Austin Reaves going to return to the Lakers lineup tomorrow for game number 5? So, got some good stuff today. And you guys already know about the beautiful Pechanga Resort Casino, and you can play a perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino, the official Native American resort and casino of the Los Angeles Lakers. Skip the traffic. Head on over to Pechanga Resort Casino just off the I-15 in Temecula. Visit pechanga.com or call 888-PECHANGA for reservations and for more information. So, to start off with the Austin Reaves portion of this, I know we talked about this yesterday, but there's more news in regards to Austin Reaves. Shams Charania, he went on Get Up this morning, and he said that Los Angeles Lakers star Austin Reaves is optimistic to returning to action in Game 5 against the Houston Rockets on Wednesday night after missing about 4 weeks with a grade 2 oblique strain. And look, this is kind of right around that timeline as far as Austin Reaves and his possibility in returning to this Lakers lineup. He will also be a game time decision for the 3rd consecutive contest. So he warmed up for game number 3. He did it. He went and did his pregame routine. Went ahead and gave it a go. Obviously did not participate and was not able to play in game number 3. Okay, no big deal. Lakers still found a way to pull out the victory in game number 3. Game number 4 comes. Austin Reaves, game time decision. He was questionable on the injury report, comes in, does his pregame routine. Lakers trying to figure out a way if Austin Reaves is going to make his return into the Lakers lineup for game number 4. They felt like not right now. With the game number 5 and understanding that there's going to be 2 days of rest in between game 4 and 5. The Lakers, I feel like that is why they're remaining optimistic for Austin Reaves to return to this lineup. So I asked you guys yesterday if Austin Reaves should return to this Lakers lineup. If he's at a 90%, 70, 80, 90%, I still feel like Austin Reaves should play in game number 5 because this Lakers team, they need it. They need his scoring. They need his ability to play make. We talk about Luka Doncic and Austin Reaves, and there is times where the Lakers offense, what happens? It would get stagnant. We will all get frustrated looking at this Lakers offense. And not enough ball movement, not enough player movement. And then, I came to the realization and understanding that you want to know why it worked out in that way for the Lakers when there's moments that the offense got stagnant, because Luka Doncic and Austin Reaves were able to bail out the Lakers sometime. Whether you get a tough Luka Doncic step back late into the shot clock and he somehow finds a way to knock it down, whether you get a tough Austin Reaves getting to the basket, ability to get to the free throw line, if not, he's finding a way to create a jump shot late into the shot clock. Lakers have moments where they were able to get bailed out in the hands of those two. So with these 4 games with both of them out of the lineup, Lakers had no choice but to get something out of other players' name whose names are not LeBron James. You got that out of Luke Kennard in 2 games. You got that out of Marcus Smart, I believe, in a game and a half. Marcus Smart really turned it on in that fourth quarter in game number 3. Talk about that steal he had against Jabari Smith Jr., a veteran IQ play of him getting that shot up, getting fouled by Jayshawn Tate, and then LeBron James not quitting, Lakers team not quitting, playing through the final whistle, knocks the ball loose out of Reed Shepherd's hands. LeBron James finds a way to get into a spot, which he almost did turn the ball over, tapped it to Luke Kennard. Luke Kennard passed right back. LeBron James knocks it down. So you got a lot of moments out of your role players, whether it's Rui Hachimura having an efficient night in the mid-range, getting to the basket, finding ways to post up Reed Shepherd and getting to his spots, getting to the making layups. Deondre Ayton doing a hell of a job defensively on Alperen Sengun, but also finding ways to roll hard to the basket, dunking on dudes. Jackson Hayes providing much needed minutes. You start to get a lot of games out of these role players, and all of their roles were enhanced. As soon as the news came out with Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves, Luke Kennard's role grew. Marcus Smart's role grew. LeBron James' role. All of a sudden, he's not a third usage guy. You need LeBron James to be LeBron James. And honestly, I always go back to that point. You need LeBron James to be LeBron James, even if he still was that third usage guy. But
now, hold on. I got to interject.
Oh, look at here. We got Tim in the mix.
I like the idea of Austin Reeves coming back and being part of the offense. But we have to ask ourselves, in this series, against this matchup, is that what's best for this team to give the Lakers the best chance to win? Because, yes, we get more offense, but then we lose some of our defensive contributions, and we also lose the ball being in Marcus Smart and Luke Kennard's hands, which has led to this uptick that we've currently been seeing recently.
So that's a good question. And there's a lot of layers into that. So, yes, you take the ball and responsibilities of Marcus Smart and Luke Kennard as far as them being aggressive, right? If you bring Austin Reeves back in the mix, because Austin Reeves is going to have the ball in his hands. But let's just focus on this real quick. Just Austin Reeves alone. The shot creating, we talk about that. Ability to get to the free throw line, we talk about that. I mentioned the ability of him bailing out as far as late to a shot clock when Lakers have no option. Austin Reeves having the ability to create something out of nothing. He has that in him. Okay, you look at Luke Kennard and you're worried about, is he going to get the same looks? Yes, he is. Because when the Lakers acquired Luke Kennard, the idea came for him to come off of screens, finding ways to get open looks from the three-point ball. Luke Kennard literally is the best three-point shooter in the league percentage-wise. Now you ask him, Luke Kennard, not only to find ways to come off of screens and find a shot, but you're also asking him to get you into your offense. You're also asking him to, facilitate, getting to the driving lanes, finding ways to kick out to others. So now you throw Austin Reeves in the mix. All of a sudden, Luke Kennard being that primary ball handler and finding ways to get guys into the offense, all of a sudden, that responsibility takes off of his hands. Marcus Smart, you're asking him to, Marcus Smart, not only we need you to be a dog defensively, we're also asking you to drive hard we're also asking you to get to the basket. We're also asking you to find ways to score. We're also asking you to find ways to facilitate, which Marcus Smart has no problem. Him and DeAndre Ayton in that two-man game has actually worked out really, really well for the Lakers. You add Austin Reeves in the mix. Now all of a sudden, these two, and Luke Kennard and Marcus Smart, can pick their spots, and they can pick their driving lanes, and they can find ways to navigate through the Houston Rockets defense. Austin Reeves creates another opportunity for this Lakers offense. It finds a way to provide spacing. It provides ways into adding another scoring. Say if Austin Reeves does drive into the basket, Luke Kennard now has an option, as you guys just seen in those clips, taking guys off the dribble, getting to his mid-range spot, getting into the paint and knocking down that close-range jump shot. Marcus Smart, all of a sudden, instead of him taking guys off the dribble and facilitating his offense, it gives him a chance to get a breather. It allows Luke Kennard to get a breather. It allows LeBron James to get a breather, which we're going to talk about LeBron James on the second half of this episode, because we got to ask, why have those assist numbers been up? because LeBron James has the ball in his hands too damn much. Same with Luke Kennard, and same with Marcus Smart. And when you add Austin Reeves, all of a sudden the spacing is different. There's clips, and look at this. This are the two games that they had in Houston. And we worry about, okay, Austin Reeves is back in there. What about the defense? You want to know why the Lakers have had success against this Houston Rockets in this series? You really want to know why? It's because they've been able to pack the paint. They've been able to force Alperen Sengun to take hook shots, contested hook shots at that. Remember that stat line I gave to you guys? Alperen Sengun shooting 5 of 17 combined with Jackson Hayes and DeAndre Ayton. That's a testament to how the Lakers scouting report and how they defended. Remember, the Lakers had success early in these two games in the series because they allowed Amen Thompson to be a jump shooter. They allowed Jabari Smith Jr. to take contested three-point shots. They looked at Josh Okogie. We allow him to beat them. We will allow with Josh Okogie trying to be a perimeter jump shooter. We're going to allow Tari Eason to be that perimeter jump shot. And that is where the conversation is, Austin Reeves is going to hurt this team? No, he's not. Regardless if you look at his postseason from last year against the Minnesota Timberwolves. If you look at that, then it's like, all right, we got to be able to move forward and we got to be able to move along, because let's not look at and discredit what he was able to do when both LeBron James and Luka Doncic were out of this Lakers lineup. Austin Reeves was carrying the load and he handled it really, really well. It's just another guy that can do a lot of good things offensively. You don't think LeBron James is sitting there like, damn, I can really use Luka Doncic and AR at this moment. It's certain moments of the game. If you add Austin Reeves, the Houston Rockets all of a sudden has to what? The whole scouting report changes. There has been plays where LeBron James catches it mid-post and you have staring, ball watching. That was game number 4. The Lakers look really, really good when there's movement, when they're limiting their turnovers. I understand they had a high turnover ratio. I totally get all that. But the reason into why Lakers are still able to win those games with high turnover ratio is because they were able to defend the Houston Rockets. And that is where the real conversation is going to come into game number 5. Is can they actually defend? You can't allow Alperen Sengun to continue to get to his spots and get to the free throw line. You can't allow Amen Thompson to get a double-double and getting over 20 points, and all those points were in the paint. You can't allow Tari Eason to somehow find a rhythm, beating guys off the dribble. Reed Shepherd, he's the guy that the Lakers should want to pick apart. And they were doing that when LeBron James doing the lob over and Rui Hachimura is beating him down the court. Lakers got to find a way to take advantages of those mismatches and take advantages of those opportunities, which they have done a good job. Hence is why they have a 3-1 series lead. But you do need Austin Reeves. Forget about what happened in that Minnesota Timberwolves series. Literally, forget about that. Because if you do throw him in the mix and you don't play him out of all this series, and say the Lakers do advance and they get ready to play against Oklahoma City Thunder, remind you this guy has not played in 4 weeks, couple weeks. You try to throw him early in that Oklahoma City Thunder series, and you telling me that he's going to be able to just click like that? No. This gives him time to allow him to get some rhythm, allow him to find his spots, allow him to get those game time reps. Because Lakers do advance, all of a sudden Austin Reeves has a little bit of games in him to get ready to play against Oklahoma City Thunder. But all that stuff isn't going to matter because Lakers have to take care of business tomorrow night. And with that being said, there has been some comments on Alperen Sengun. I'm going to read some of you guys' stuff in the YouTube chat. And also, I felt like with today's episode, a little bit of a breakdown into why the Lakers have had success and how can they cut off their turnovers. We got some clips about that. And also, definitely want to double back into why LeBron James struggled in game number 4. We got all that good stuff. But before we do all that, you guys already know, I have to let my partner, Zach Pachanga, give you guys a quick word.
At Pachanga Resort Casino, you can rock and roll, sip and slide, twist and shout. Play your perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino, official Indian gaming sponsor of the Lakers.
What is going on? Welcome back to Lakers Talk Daily. So before we get into everything I teased, getting into the second half, I just have to look at the YouTube chat real quick. And my guys in there are arguing with an Atlanta Hawks OG guy in the YouTube chat. What is going on in there in the YouTube chat? Atlanta Hawks OG. I don't know where you came from, but he is in here in the group chat, in the YouTube chat, saying Ime Udoka owns you. I know he's just trolling in here at this moment. He's talking about Gabe Vincent, say Gabe is cooking and so is Kuminga, CJ McCollum, still mad Lakers. Atlanta Hawks OG, what are you doing in here, man? We got a little bit of a troll in here. This is hilarious. You just got to focus on beating the New York Knicks, Atlanta Hawks OG. Figure out a way to see if you can come out and pull away with that series. Because this is not, it's 2-2 over there, Atlanta Hawks OG. But to focus on the Lakers, I thought that was really, really interesting that you guys are arguing with that guy in there. And you guys are all in agreement with me as far as Lakers need to find a way to cut off the turnovers. Jay says turnovers are killing the Lakers. Brian, the turnovers are the biggest thing that the Lakers need to fix. And then Brandon Bowles says, like Mike Breen said, the magic of Austin Reeves continues. And then to finish off with one more, Peter, AR would lead the league in scoring if he was on another team, Ireland. And I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't know if he'll be leading the league in scoring, but all I know is that you do need Austin Reeves. And just like Jay said, you need another person that can go downhill and get you off the dribble when LeBron takes a breather. And take minutes off of Jake LaRivia because, man, he has been bad. And to add
hey, if you put Austin Reeves on Washington, on Charlotte, where there's nobody else, you telling me he can't get 35 a night?
35 a night with the Washington Wizards and the Charlotte Hornets. Look, I love Austin Reeves. I think he's done a wonderful job with the Los Angeles Lakers, especially this season. But 35, Tim, no, I'm sorry. 30. You got to keep in mind, too, is that other teams are going to zero in on Austin Reeves if you were to be playing with the Washington Wizards. You know what the easiest thing would be that they would do? Double team him, get the ball out of his hands. They know Austin Reeves is going to be trying to do. They're going to force.
You got one-legged AD to help him out there. They got Trae Young is still out there somewhere. They got a couple of distractions that can pull from him.
And they got Bub Carrington. They got Alex Sarr. They got a lot of young guys over there. Just like AD said, Anthony Davis says that he believes the Washington Wizards can compete, and then hopefully that they can find ways to compete for a championship. I do not call I call bluff on Anthony Davis saying that. And if you had Austin Reeves over there, I'm sorry. Ain't no way that brother averaging 30 to 35 points. Maybe 20. He'll get 20. But ain't no 30 to 35 points. And I'm sorry. I love John Ireland, but let's just keep it real. He is not going to be leading the league in scoring in a Washington Wizards uniform. Let's just keep it real. I love John Ireland, but the boy has to keep it real. And that is not going to be the case. But to add on to what Jay was saying, as far as you need another guy to go downhill and then a person to get you off the dribble when LeBron takes a breather. And that is exactly where I want to go at, is LeBron James. And the reasons into why he is struggling is the ball is in his hands too damn much. And we can all be in agreement here, that day off in between, which the fatigue definitely set in for the Lakers. We saw it in game 3 in that second half. First half, Lakers offense was flying. LeBron James is moving without the basketball. And you saw the player movement get into his spots. Look how easy this is. And then you see in the reasons in the LeBron James struggle. The ball was in his hands too much. And that one right there. And LeBron James gets it mid-post, and you see it. stand. Rockets are able to zone it up. Stand. Like, this is not a beneficial lineup. You got Rui, you got Vanderbilt, you got Bronny, you got DeAndre Ayton. Rui's the only reliable three-point shooter compared to Vanderbilt, compared to Bronny James. And then Rui Hachimura, it's hard because what are you going to be doing? You're setting a screen in the corner. There is nowhere to go with this lineup. And then you see LeBron James. Where are you going? Like that one right there. It's all right. Miss layup. Another one right here gets to a spot. A miss layup. You live with those. But when LeBron James is trying to be your primary point guard at the age of 41 and the way the speed is going, it's like they got to find ways to offload the ball out of LeBron James. And I know Luke Kennard does that, but why? This is where Austin Reeves is going to be vitally important because Luke Kennard, there's times he needs a breather because his bread and butter coming off of screens. Get through the defense, get into that paint, finding ways to kick out. If not, he knocks down that close-range jump shot. Marcus Smart needs a breather because he exerts a lot of energy on a defensive end. So all that stuff matters. By the way, Tim, I hear your audio just to give you a heads up. And so just thinking about that and trying to find ways as far as, okay, how can LeBron James cut his turnovers in half is they can't speed up. Houston Rockets is a team, if they just literally cut the turnovers in half, I'm telling you guys right now, if they just cut the turnovers in half, they will have success against the Houston Rockets because the Rockets are thriving in that opportunity. The Rockets want to have turnovers because they can't score. The Rockets struggle in a half-court setting. When you zone it up and you force Alperen Sengun to take a contested hook shot, when you zone it up and force Amin Thompson to be your jump shooter, when you zone it up and you live with Tari Eason trying to be that jump shooter, the Houston Rockets are not a good three-point shooting team. Now, you can keep the Houston Rockets in games if what? If you turn the damn ball over. And those clips I sent you guys right there. LeBron James trying to push up in transition, miscommunication, Rui Hachimura not cutting to the basket, Rui Hachimura trying to float to the three-point ball. I get it. Rui Hachimura had a high three-point percentage. But in a game like that, when you're already down 20, you got to find a way to cut the run, to cut out the run. All right? You got to find ways to offload LeBron James. He's going to need a breather. And these 2 days of rest, which yesterday and today, good. Advantage Lakers. I know Alperen Sengun made those comments and him saying that they're going to have success and that, you know, that they're going to be more tired. I'm ready. I know that they're going to hit. Well, we're hitting them too. We're younger. We'll heal faster than probably. It's like, man, let's just literally, I really hope the Lakers can close the series out and send the Houston Rockets out packing. And the only way for that to happen is, like Jay and you guys are saying, turnovers. And the Lakers are averaging damn near 19, 20 turnovers. 12, at least 12. But you have to manage the game. You can't be in a hurry. When the Rockets are scoring below 100 points, success in games 1 and 2. When the Lakers had a double-digit lead heading into the half, but then the offense started getting real stagnant, LeBron James is getting into no man's land. Rui Hachimura is getting into no man's land. Marcus Smart trying to push the tempo, but there's no numbers. DeAndre Ayton fumbling the ball, which that really has not been the case this series. Jared Vanderbilt shooting a corner three when you have a lot of time left on the shot clock. Those are the things that you can't control. You can't control turnovers. And another thing, you can't control rebounding. All 5 have to board. The Houston Rockets. I cannot stress enough, and I really do sound like a broken record. I really do sound like it. But that is literally the only way the Houston Rockets can stay in a game with the Lakers, with Luka Doncic, with Austin Reeves, without Luka Doncic, and without Austin Reeves. When they have second chance opportunities and they're finding ways to getting into those stats, it's hard. But if you literally just do your job and the attention to detail, the Lakers will close out this series. Now, I've seen somebody in there, and I believe it was Brandon, saying, how can the Lakers, what is a perfect scenario for the Lakers to beat the Thunder? And you know what, man? I'm going to hold that, and I'm going to save that, because I don't even want to look ahead to that right now. And I feel like I got to give more of a look into the Oklahoma City Thunder. By the way, like I mentioned, they swept the Phoenix Suns in a 4-0 series. And what Oklahoma City does, and we've seen that the way that they are able to handle the Lakers in those games in Oklahoma City, look, we will find a scenario. We'll hopefully have a return of Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves for that series, but we got to focus on game number 5 against Houston Rockets. And the game plan, like you guys have been saying in the YouTube chat, is Rockets throw it up in the air, and they rely on someone crashing downhill, whether that's Amin Thompson, whether that's Tari Eason, Jabari Smith Jr., Alperen Sengun. That's literally the Rockets' offense, and they're stubborn ways. Jason Redick, you got to find a way to make adjustments in Game 5. I felt like Lakers' fatigue really wasn't a big issue. That should not be an excuse heading into game number 5. And when you look at the way the Rockets, and they literally all they rely on is physicality, bumping. And if you're the Lakers, it's just I just can't I can't stress it enough. Now, to close out this episode, and we got 3 more minutes left, is this interesting graph right here, which Kevin Durant status is uncertain for game number 5, and he has a bone bruise in his left ankle. You got to take advantage of Kevin Durant being out of the lineup, man. Kevin Durant does everything for this Houston Rockets team. And you know what the crazy thing is that the Lakers still found ways to have success with Kevin Durant in the lineup. Remember when Kevin Durant had 20 points in that first half, but Lakers are still able to keep that same game plan that they were able to do in those 2 games in Houston during the regular season. Blitz him, get the ball in his hands. We will rotate properly, and we'll make sure that others beat them. Success. They've had that. But with Kevin Durant out of the lineup, you have to force this Rockets team to be perimeter jump shooting team. Hell, throw in a zone. Throw in a zone a couple times. Switch it up. I feel like the Lakers went away from that in game number 4. I feel like they didn't throw in different looks, throw in different adjustments. I know they try to pack in the paint, but hell, if you do have a zone and you do match up properly and you force the Houston Rockets to take, contested jump shots, all right, you live with that. But when you play their style of basketball, when you're trying to speed up and you're trying to be in a track meet with them, it's not going to work. It is not going to work. If you just slow the tempo down and the Lakers play their style of basketball, I'm telling you guys right now, we're looking at a 4-1 series, and Lakers can advance, and they will be able to face the Oklahoma City Thunder in the next round. But to wind these things up and to read one more thing in the YouTube chat, Ayton needs to treat the ball like he treats the okay. I almost Brian, you're a wild for that, man. I can't believe I almost read that. All right, you guys are wild in here, man. And last thing, Peter says, we win tomorrow. We get OKC on Sunday. And my guess, Luka comes back at home for game 3 and 4. And that's what we want. The Houston Rockets are a team. They're ready to go home, man. They're ready to go home. They showed some signs of hope and faith in game number 4. You're back home. You're at Crypto.com Arena. Take care of business. The fans are going to be electric. Everyone's going to be ready to go. You're back home. You have Austin Reeves returning to the lineup. The fans, everything needs to be energetic and get ready for that. But for you guys in the YouTube chat and you guys over there arguing with Atlanta Hawks OG, which I have no understanding of what he is doing up in the YouTube chat. Go worry about the damn Atlanta Hawks. Go worry about them. Hopefully, they can close out the series against the New York Knicks. But we're talking to you guys tomorrow. Game number 5 is here. Lakers, Rockets. Cut the turnovers in half. Rebound the basketball. Austin Reeves gets back in the mix. Hopefully, we get a more fluid offense. We have another primary ball handler. Offload from LeBron James, Marcus Smart, Luke Kennard. Hopefully we start to see a different look of this Lakers offense. We should be excited, man. We really should be excited. But for you guys in the YouTube chat, my guy Tim, Carlo running this operation, I'll be talking to you guys tomorrow. As always, your boy is out.